Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from kicksoncourt.com. Today we have another performance review and it's on the APL Concept 3. If you wanted to grab these, they are available now over at their website. The link will be in the description box below. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. If you guys remember my first initial video, I said that the traction didn't look too impressive or anything like that, and I actually wasn't expecting it to perform very well. However, it performed pretty damn good. It was nearly perfect. Only on the dirtiest courts did I have an issue, and even then it wasn't an issue that I would have had on like other shoes. Like certain shoes just stick to dust, and these guys kind of brush that dust away. The rubber that they said that they have used on their tech specs, which are also featured on their website, is that they used a durable no-slip rubber. I don't really know what that means other than I barely slipped, which is a legitimate thing. It was actually truthful. As far as it being durable, you know, I really don't know. I don't know if I would wear these outside just because the rubber grooves are so shallow that you might burn through this pretty quickly. So that's just my personal opinion or take on it. I haven't actually tested it out myself, and for $175 I don't really feel like testing it out myself either, especially since like I could probably ruin these, and this is one of those shoes where I'll be probably giving them away at the end of the year, so I don't want to ruin them any more than they have to be for the review. The cushion setup is basically just a typical foam. It doesn't state what type of foam it is exactly, but it's a pretty soft foam, and it's not too soft but it's not too firm type of thing, so it's like one of those just right or in between type of setups. There are compression grooves here, so upon heel strikes it really does compress very well, and it actually feels really nice when you're in transition. The only thing that kind of is lacking is forefoot cushion, and that is due to the load and launch tech that you can see right here in the forefoot. It's not anything where it's uncomfortable, it's just noticeable. It's kind of like the Crazy Quicks where you're so low to the ground you got really great court feel but minimal cushion. So it's a trade-off. Which one do you want? Do you want tons of cushion in the front, or do you want tons of court feel? So it's one of those things where you as a consumer are going to have to choose which one you prefer, and personally I didn't find them to be uncomfortable or anything. It was actually a really comfortable cushioned shoe, so I personally liked it. But I am getting really used to this, like foams and minimal cushion setups and things like that, which is something that a lot of people, if you're used to lots of cushion, you're going to have to actually build yourself up to because your body's not used to it. The materials on the upper are synthetics. It's basically just like fuse. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. You got a lot of mesh and you got a lot of fuse. I did think upon first impression, again you can check that earlier video for proof, that I wasn't sure if this was actually going to provide enough support. Surprisingly enough it did, mostly because it just kept your foot right on that footbed. So it kind of felt like you were wearing like a really secure shoe versus you were just wearing a shoe, you know what I mean? So it gave you that kind of one-to-one fit, and that was something that I personally liked. So the materials I think are great, and especially this collar padding here, which I'll get into in a bit. The overall fit, in my opinion, is you might want to go up half a size minimum. Wide footers, not sure. I just know that they run really short. This is a size 9, and my toes were just really tight up there, so I would have preferred a size 9.5 for this particular model, and that's something that I would recommend to other people that might be interested. As far as the lockdown goes, just like I said in the material, you get a really secure fit with everything. Everything's really supportive along the upper, and that's something that I personally really loved. The entire lacing system here is basic, but the midfoot lacing system does keep you wrapped up right there. The collar lacing system is an internal lacing system, so this is something that you'll see on like the Air Jordan 14, 15, and so on. Hopefully you can see it, but it's these little interior loops, and basically those are inside the shoe, so they get you that like slightly closer fit than something like this just because they're underneath. So the ankle area was really well thought out with the lacing structure and system, and you can definitely feel it when you wear it. It's so good, in fact, that I did not even need to lace them all the way up to the top. These two eyelets that are internal were perfect enough for me. And the heel area is literally like the perfect lockdown. The lockdown in this shoe is just incredible. I was not expecting anything like this, and it was a really nice surprise. Everything is really nicely contoured, and I really do like the way that the padding was implemented in here. It's such a comfortable shoe from the entire like lockdown and fit perspective that I was just totally blown away and impressed. As far as ventilation goes, the only shoe that has been this ventilated in my personal experience has been the original Crazy Light. And the original Crazy Light is more ventilated just because there's no restriction within their airflow. However, this is the closest thing to come since then. So, in my personal opinion, if you're looking for ventilation, this is pretty much it. The support is basically coming from all of that fit along the upper and the materials themselves. In my opinion, does perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever. You also have a shank plate right here at the bottom. That's for torsional support, and it does a really good job of that as well. As far as arch support goes, it doesn't have anything to where it's like significant in my opinion. This basically feels like a Nike Hyperfuse. So if you're used to playing in something like that, then something like this, it's basically going to be that same type of arch feeling. So nothing crazy, but the support is definitely adequate.
No difference.
I don't feel no difference.
It doesn't look like any difference.
So as you could see from the jump test, I personally didn't receive any increased vertical. My vertical was absolutely the same. I don't know if this is because I'm not really a jumper, so I might be a bad example to use this kind of tech, but at the same time, if this tech is supposed to enhance your vertical ability or capabilities, again, I didn't receive that. So I'm not going to use this jump test as like part of the score for the performance, because I just feel like, you know, that's really like the shoe's gimmick. So I don't feel like that should be graded. But everything else, traction, cushion, material fit, ventilation support, all that stuff will be on the scorecard, and you probably already have seen all of their scores pop up during their sections. So you know, but yeah, I didn't receive anything, as you can see, and it is kind of a bummer, but at the same time I wasn't really expecting anything. So I think that this is more of a placebo thing, where if you think that it's going to make you jump higher, then you'll probably jump higher, and I'm not one of those kind of people. So you know, it didn't work for me. My overall thoughts on the shoe, basically I was just really surprised. I went into this one not really expecting anything. You know, but what it ended up happening was I ended up buying a shoe that was a really good performance shoe. So I thought that was really great. The overall like load and launch thing, I didn't actually gain anything from it. I don't know if it's just because I suck at jumping, or if it's just because it doesn't work. I'm not really sure. But I personally didn't experience any increase in vertical leap, as you guys had seen in the jump test. So you know, that's just me. I'm not a leaper though, so I'm probably a really bad example of it. However, if it's supposed to like kind of guarantee you that additional 1 to 4 inches or whatever it is, I didn't receive that. So I don't feel ripped off though, just because again, this is a really good basketball shoe. The cushion, the traction, materials fit. Well, the fit wasn't that great, but just because it runs small. But if I would have gotten a 9.5, definitely would have increased everything. And especially this collar area. This collar area was wicked cool, and I just thought that the overall shoe was a really good performance shoe, and I was not really thinking about the gimmick that is underneath. So that's something that I kind of took from it, is just, you know, kind of keep a blank mind on it, and just playing them, you know what I mean? And they played really well. So that's my overall thoughts. I thought that they were great, and you know, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Make sure to stay tuned to my site, kicksoncourt.com, for all your performance needs. And until next time, guys, have a good one.